I've damn near had it with you, man. Always bugging me with these notifications telling me to do this lesson, or your streak is gonna be broken, No more gamification, it doesn't work. All right, yep. It's dramatic, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't work. Gamification does not work. And I know what you're thinking. I've literally, on other videos, been like, hey, we should teach math through video games. But what I'm proposing is not gamification. See, gamification, it's this whole practice of reducing games to the reward system. Basically looking at games and saying, oh, people really love to engage with that thing. Oh, they don't like to do this thing that I want them to do, whether it's learning a language or exercising or doing math or learning a language. Duolingo? And they think, okay, so let me take this reward system and tack it onto this thing that's boring, and somehow that's gonna make them do the thing that they don't wanna do. Wrong. I've seen these math games where you'll have like a Flappy Bird, and you're playing Flappy Bird, and then boom, they just throw a calculation at you. So let's say it's 2 times 5. You're gonna do the calculation, but you're not doing the math because you enjoy it. You're doing the math to get back to the thing you actually wanna do. And so it does work for a moment. So it works so long as the rewards are flowing. At some point, when the rewards stop flowing, like maybe your streak on the app stops because you accidentally missed a day, that's when you no longer have interest in doing the thing anymore, which is not how video games work. When someone makes a video game, when game designers make a video game, they basically ask the question of like, what is the most minimal thing that I can get someone to do and do it for hours on end without all these other bells and whistles or reward systems? And so for example, if you look at a game like Super Mario, where you have this platformer and you have Mario jumping across the screen and doing various things, and yes, he is getting rewards. However, when they made that game, where they started off from was they basically spent hours on end basically calibrating Mario's jump so that someone would be fine literally just jumping into a game where they're just making Mario jump up and down. That is basically where it started. And then they added all the other bells and whistles. And so compared to gamification, you're starting with something that's fun at its core. If you look at gamification, where do they start? They start with something boring at its core, which is the thing that you want to gamify. And so this is why I argue for subjectizing games instead of gamifying subject. If you imagine it as a spectrum where on one end you have the boring thing that you want someone to do, such as learning a language. Learning a language. And then on the other hand, you have a game like Fortnite. It is not necessarily teaching anyone something that's useful. However, it is a fun and engaging game. The question is, where do you begin? And so gamification begins here, and they try to move further down the spectrum. And I think it's easier actually to begin here with the fun game. You're just enjoying it and slowly add things from that basis until you get to the right point where it's still a fun game, but you're also learning. I'm kind of curious to hear your thoughts on this. Have you come across any gamified subjects that you've actually enjoyed?